late, or if they're absent today, they can watch it. So what I'm going to show to you today is how you can use Google Forms as an assessment tool. I think some of you are probably already using Edmodo or maybe even Socrative as an assessment tool, which is great. I think a Google Form is a great way that you can use as a major unit chapter test. I like the fact that you can insert pictures, and I like how you can insert a YouTube video, and it will automatically grade it for you using the script add-on called Flubaroo. So this is going to be showing up our screen as we go through our stuff. And this way you can always reflect back if you need to go back. And I'm going to go over a couple things with you. So we have here, if you have not done already, it's in our Moto group. And you can click that link. You can get to it there. It was also emailed to you this morning. And some other things. You probably also received an email from me from a Gmail calendar invite. I made an event called LMS 8th Grade Planning. It should have gone to your Gmail. And I did that because I wanted to show you guys the potential of using your Gmail calendar with your students. So if I were to double click on an event, this has the brief synopsis of what we're doing today. And you could probably do the same thing with your kids. You can tell your kids, you know, this is where you can put your agenda. And I really like the fact that you can attach documents from your Google Drive for your students. So you can say, hey, we have a test coming up, we have a quiz, this is what you'll need to do. And they have an option where you can pop up or you can email them. So you should have received an email 3 days ago when we were going to have this session. You should have received it yesterday. And a pop-up comes up as well. So as my Google Calendar is active, it's going to pop up and things are going to be taken over the screen. And I can see who here accepted the invitation or who may have missed it or tentative or what. But this is a great way your kids can say, oh, I didn't know we had that. I didn't know we had to do this. All your info is in there, and this is why you really want to try to get them in the habit of checking their Gmail. It would really help them out, and then puts it onto their calendar event as well.
Okay, I'm sorry. I was too busy. I was doing this.
No problem. What's up?
And I was trying to do math, and that requires me to do
Okay. What's up, Leah?
I got 15 emails from you last week about this, and I think that's what it is, right? Blocks. I don't understand. I just saw a lot of words. I didn't know what to do.
Okay, so the 8th grade planning is what we're going to do for our session. If you get an event that says classroom visits, that just means I'm free. And if you want me to come into your room and work with you, or like, hey, Bo, I could really use you in my room this time and do a blended learning station, I would love to have you in my room. So I invited that out to everybody. So the reason why some people got so many emails is because I wanted you guys to get in the habit of knowing when it's coming up, and hopefully you could use kind of a strategy like that with your kids too. So
I think I clicked decline because I didn't know what I was doing.
Yeah, gotcha.
I thought you were trying to get you.
Yeah, well, great question. So now it's all out there. So now we got that out. Okay. So in the Google form, there's a couple ways that you can that you'll see it. This is the live mode form. This is probably what you guys clicked on when you first hit it, when you first do it. Notice that it says first name, last name, but when I built it, it was all broken up. This is how it should have looked like. First name, last name, and then your grade. Unfortunately, that is a downside to when you shuffle the question order. So when I checked off that box, a lot of you are probably like, what's that mean? What does it say answer to above? But the answer above is that first question. So I had to, I inserted a picture of a math fraction, and this is where you should have put your answer. But unfortunately, when you shuffle it, it shuffles everything on the page. My test is 8 pages long. You can see it's page 1 of 8. And everything that is on that page, it will get shuffled. So I try to break up some of that shuffling by breaking it down by pages. And here's some other things. I was like, some of you may have already made up a Google form already, and maybe you can get into more of the advanced features today. And here's some things I found out, like the 2x2. And a lot of you are like, well, I did. I put my answer in there, but it says, you know, please use words. There's an advanced setting for text boxes. A text option is where you would just put in a simple 1 or 2 word answer. If you go to advanced settings, you could check off data validation, and you could put text. And I wrote does not contain 4. So anyone that put a numerical value of 4, you would get a red box that pop up and say, please use words. You could use that same thing in your room if you have kids that frequently misspell a word, I know with Edmodo, if you're off by one character on a simple one-word answer, it's going to grade it wrong for you. So this is to kind of prevent that kid from doing that. So let's say I was in and she asked, you know, about an earthquake. And if I typed in earthquake, if I did earth space quake, she could put in a box over here to say, you know, please don't put spaces in between the words in this option. But it can detect that. And it can detect by text, does not contain, so you would put earth space quake there. So any kid that got that, they wouldn't necessarily get it wrong. So it's a way to help them out. If you're a math teacher, I know with Edmodo, you can't really put formulas and expressions and fractions in there. So what I was able to do is I can insert this picture of a math fraction. There's some websites like an online decoder and encoder. And I just Google for online decoder and encoder. And you can just find a math formula. And let's say if I do the fraction here, puts in the code, and I just do 3, and within that bracket I put 4. It makes a fraction for me. I can then save that picture and insert it into my test if I wanted to. So if you're a math teacher, you can now put more advanced work into your math quiz. Another type of box is the paragraph box, and that's just like a couple sentences or maybe an essay. I know Flubaroo will not be able to automatically grade that for you, but another advanced setting you can check off is you can do data validation. And now you can do a minimum character count or a maximum character count. So in 50 words or less, explain to me your answer. And it will count the words for you. And again, a box will pop up and it will say, please make sure you use more than those few words. So I can help you out. I had this one. This is a grid type. And I used it as true, false. And I broke that up. And this is a checkbox. I would recommend do not use checkboxes in your Google form test, because depending on the order that you check, it could be marked right or wrong. So the right answer I felt was DeLorean, Stewie Griffin, H.G. Wells, listening too much. It puts that all of your responses into a cell and it separates them by a comma. But if you do this one, and then this one, that order could be wrong, but it would still see it as that cell and it'll be marked wrong for you. So I would totally avoid checkboxes at all costs. Some of you were taking the art and you were seeing that it jumped to a particular artist, and that is another advanced option that you can do called the go-to page based on answer. And what I did is I made up each page was an artist, so depending on what you picked, it jumped to a page of their artwork. So that might be something you can put into your assessment. If the kid's got the wrong answer, it could tell them, you know, sorry, you're wrong, go back, try again. That's a way to try to really get them to focus on the right thing. And that was by me making an individual page. So I had page 4, Pablo was the title, and then the picture of the artwork, and Mary. So each person has its own artwork. And another advanced option you could do a multiple choice is you could shuffle the option order. So if you have a kid next to each other and you're worried about them copying each other, you could shuffle the multiple choice options within a question as well. So I got individual pages. I got that down. You can also insert a YouTube video, and you can have multiple choice. And this was a scale question, just to see how the kids felt on it. It's going to get all my data back for me.
I'm sorry, how did you do the new page?
Oh, we're going to do that together in a little bit. Okay. So I just want to show you kind of like from what it was like built up. And there's a couple ways that you can see the work that you have set up.
Can I ask you a quick question?
Yeah,
about
sure.
the videos? Is there any kind of setting that keeps the video from going to the next video in YouTube? So like when they watch it, they can't watch the video again.
Mm-hmm.
It goes on to another video.
It does. Did you pull the video originally from a playlist, or did you get it from the URL? Okay.
And they will additionally keep commercials.
Well, you know what you can do, what you've been doing? If you go into YouTube, like you have a little address bar, right before the word YouTube, just put SS. So www.ssyoutube, and that lets you download it. And I just upload it into Google Drive.
Well, unfortunately, you can't insert a YouTube video. You can't put a YouTube video. So you can do a picture that way, but you can't do a video. Not at this time. Not that I've seen yet, no. But we can maybe play with that today. That's a good thing. Maybe we can look into that today. But when I once I have everyone taking the form for me, I can go to responses, and if I go to summary responses, it puts everything into charts for me. Any multiple choice question will become a pie graph. You can get other questions in bars, and it's just a nice way that you can get your data. You can save these as individual images, put them elsewhere. Another way you can do it is if you go to responses, and if I go to view responses, I get a spreadsheet. I can do a notification rule on here, so anytime someone completes the form, I can get an email, or I can get a summary of the whole day. And they have some great add-ons that you can use too. The Flubaroo add-on is what you'll use to grade your tests. But if you are following the lowest middle Google Plus page, you can see that Sean has posted a GformIt with some stuff using Google add-on, where you can take your Google Doc of questions and turn them to a Google form. Or you can use Megan Cox's About Forum Publisher, who puts all your form submissions into individual Google documents, almost kind of the reverse option. So check it, and there's Ebony Leanne teaching science over there. So these are some ways that you can add stuff on. So you can get emails, you can get spreadsheet, you can bar graphs. All right, so we're all going to make a test up now. And if you go to Google Drive, which was either a link I posted on the Emoto group, or if you're logged into Google already, you can just hit your waffle and you can go to Drive. Or you can just type in drive.google.com. I do find it's almost easier to make your form on your computer, but if you're on your iPad, we can work around that too. So you notice I'm on the new version of the Drive. And that's why I have a red box that says new. If you want to go on the new version of Drive that I'm on, you should see a gear all the way to the right underneath your profile picture. And there should be something that says try out the new Drive, experience the new Drive. All it did is it just changed the name of a few things. If you want to do the old one, that's fine. But just know if you are on the new version, you hit New, More, Google Forms. If you're in the old version, I think you have to hit Create, and then you should see Google Forms under that list. So we're going to make up a blank Google form.
What is the new version of Google?
It's a new version of Google Drive.
Oh.
So like it changed the red word create to new, and it changed the word shared with me to incoming. And there's just different ways to do things, and they're trying to do it to see what people think about it, how to like files, how to star files differently. Okay. So is everybody in a new Google form? Okay. Hopefully you can do a work in progress for this today, and eventually use it as an assessment with your. The thing about Google Docs is that it automatically saves your work for you. You can collaborate with somebody and work on it together. I don't believe you can edit the document at the same time, though. So if anybody would like to try that out, I would love to hear. You can edit a form at the same time? Okay. Spinning wheel day.
It was too close to happy living, or we were trying to do the show. That is
All right. Well, is anyone else able to get in, or is it still being very slow? Spinning, 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 spinning. Okay. Well, we can just, I'll go through it with you. We can always reflect back and sleep. So here's the things that you want to check off when you first take your test, when you're first setting it up. If you require the Horry County Schools login, this way your kids can really get used to using their Google account, logging in to view it. And I always check off automatically collect respondents' username. This way, when I get all my results in my spreadsheet, I'm going to get a whole column with the kids' emails, and this is how I can email the results back to them on their tests. And the other one I want to do is I'll only allow one response per person. This way, I'm not getting doubles and triples of a kid. And then we're going to change the word untitled form to my name. and maybe sample tests. And this is my third time doing it, so I'm going to call elements 3. So the first question is going to be just, what is your first name? And I just replace the word untitled question with, what is your first name? And that's obviously not going to be a multiple choice. So I'm going to click on the word multiple choice and make it text. And where it says help text right underneath, this is where you can clearly put directions for the kids, like please use your real name, not your nickname. And of course, one do require a question. Still spinning? You try and change, can you change your Wi-Fi? Like maybe, like, do you have another option that you can go to the Wi-Fi? Is HCS guest on there? Yeah, maybe see if different Wi-Fi will have a different effect on you. Now my next question is going to be, what is your last name? And instead of me going to add item, check off required question, type in the thing, I'm just going to duplicate it. So if you hover your mouse all the way over to the right, when you see the stack of paper, you can click on that, and all I have to do is change the word first to last. And I hit the blue done button. Yeah, and notice that I have red asterisks at the end of the question, so that makes this required. This means no kid can skip your question. And maybe my next one is going to be, what class am I going with? And probably a lot of you did this when you made up your form about getting your kids' emails. So maybe now I can do multiple choice. I can say, what class is this? And I can do first block, second block, third block. I'm sorry if I'm going a little fast for all of you, but I'm trying to get through adding a pictures, video, and different question types, and we're going to have a little quiz at the end. Well, this one is a multiple choice. So we don't need to duplicate because I duplicated text. Yes, you can add item, and then if you hit that little drop-down box, it'll give you multiple choice. And of course, required. So you can see the difference between a text box and a multiple choice. Gives you little circles.
Does anybody else really not have the mine went to it, and then I could get it with, and then it said error. So now I'm in.
Yes. Can I refresh it? If you want to add a page, this is how you add a page break. Because I want my first page to be kind of like the info about the kids. And then I want to make my second page be my main question. So under add item, I have the little drop down triangle and I pick page break. And now for my page title, I can just call it main questions.
So when the kids, when you put a page break in, the kids are doing it, do they have to go to the next page or do they automatically?
They have to actually hit the button continue at the bottom to go to the next page. Good question. So I had to hit add item page break. And now I'm going to start to ask another type of question. For this one, it's going to be an image. So I hit the drop down triangle, then image. And there's a couple ways that you can get pictures into your test. If you have a picture stored locally on your computer, you can upload it from your computer. You can use your snapshot. You can take a picture of yourself with your webcam. If you know the URL of a picture, you can do that. But what you're not be able to do is you just can't go to any old picture and right-click and copy and paste. But what you can do is I can go to the internet and I have this picture of this candy store. I can right-click on that, and I can go to copy image URL, and now I can paste it here, and then I have my candy shop in there. If you have any pictures stored on your Google Plus albums, you can get to them that way. Or your Google Drive if you have pictures in your Drive. But what I really like is the search option, because it pulls up pictures that are basically for commercial reuse. So I just can't type in SpongeBob. That's copywritten. They're not going to have a lot of pictures. They may have a few that slip through the cracks, but there's not going to be a lot of clips from the TV show or anything. There's a lot of or some original works that people have made. If you want to get a picture, you can just click on it and select. You can also filter your images down to just a face, a photo, clip art, or line drawing. So I'm going to pick the SpongeBob star, and then I select it. And it should appear at the bottom, depending how big it is. Oh, there it goes. I don't know. Do you talk badly about it all the time?
I'm able to get in, but my drive is finished. I can get in. Stuff.
Do you tell your Mac you love it? Like, do you rub it and say, I love you, I love you? I don't know. I don't know. I'm sorry. So I want my picture. I want the kids to analyze it. So what I'm going to do for the image title, I'm going to put something in there that says, analyze this picture and answer the question below. Now this star is way too big for me, so I can just click on the star and you can grab a blue square and you can shrink it. You can also left align it, center it, or right justify it. Alright, done. So the directions are I want them to analyze the picture and answer the question, but my actual question is something I had to insert. So underneath that down triangle, I now want to do a scale. And I'm going to ask, my question is, how awesome is SpongeBob? And by 1 would be awesome, and 5 would be not at all. And now it puts the scale for me right there.
What if I didn't want to?
Then you can just go to, you can trash it, and you could pick another one that you want. I'm going to show. We're going to do choose from a list next. But I think scale is just a nice way to kind of get some feedback from them on a 1 to 5 scale. So I think like personal feedback on the test. It might a scale question may actually be one that you would not require if you wanted to, but I think it's just a nice way to kind of see what they're thinking about it. Now, if I were to shuffle this question order, only these two wouldn't be affected because the dots question and the SpongeBob picture are on the same page. And I'm going to make another page about the YouTube video. So I'm going to add item, and I'm going to make another page, and I'm going to call this one I like cats. And then we're going to call it done. And just like we added a picture, we're pretty much going to do the same process. I'm going to add item and a video. And you can either search for video title or if you know the URL. So Ebony, how did you get your video? Did you guys go to URL and paste it, or did you search for it? You did it both ways? And it still automatically goes to another video?
Which is very, very dangerous.
Let me see if I can get it to work. Because I just uploaded that video.
When we put it in the form, that's, we can't put those in the form, but if we download it, it's.
Let's see here. Just text me I can share this video.
True. What if you were to download, if you downloaded the video itself and uploaded it to your own channel, it wouldn't have commercials on there anymore.
I have done that. You can see that once you download the video, you can share it, and if you do a
Well, my Google Drive is free.
So we just send the link from our Google Drive and then like
But it has to be a YouTube URL, I thought.
Well, no, because the other one says URL, and technically it's shared at that the link is the URL. I want to play that, but it's free.
I guess
Okay.
Google will do that because it won't take certain videos. Because
But if you're worried about having commercials in there, you can, like I said, you could download the video and you can upload it to your own channel. The reason why there's probably commercials on it is that person chose to monetize their video when they uploaded it. You all have your own YouTube channel since you have a Google account. So let's say I want to make sure this is the right video. If I hit the play triangle, then I would know that this is the I Like Cats video. And if I had my sound right, then I would be able to hear it. And I like this video, so I'm going to select. And now I can say my video title be again, analyze the video. And again, you can center it, right, left. Bless you. And this one's going to be choose from a list. If you ever done any online shopping, if you have that drop-down list option, this is essentially what it's going to look like. It's still a multiple choice question type, but it just looks differently. So I can ask, what is this video about? And I'll do cats, dogs, or ducks. Fire, duck. All right, how are we doing on time? 12:31. Okay, I'll give you about a second or two to wrap up that last question. That's a good question. I'm going to see if I can get a video of school too while you guys are waiting. So let's see if we can add a video through another site. Oh, see, it says paste YouTube URL here. Yeah, so it must be YouTube. Keep working. So the last things.
The only one that's using YouTube because it's.
Yeah. Oh, just figured it out.
What are you gonna do?
So what I did is I took like a text box form, and in the title, I pasted the shared URL to my Google Drive. I went to share and copied the URL, my web address.
Okay. So you made a paragraph text?
Yeah. So
Okay.
like I put the heading like watch this video, and then the helping one, I put the link.
The only thing, but what's cool about Google Hangout when you play a video in this is you automatically add closed caption.
Oh,
You missed that piece, but if, so I think if we put
But
it
then
on
it showed up. Now they can play it from my Google Drive.
Yeah.
The video I'd saved.
how long does that take? Is that hard? It's hard to try to stream it? And sometimes it's weird about stuff like that.
I don't know. I haven't. Well, I've only done it like once or twice.
So that's in the help text. You put the you hit share URL. The
Yeah, and I
document goes there.
copied it in there, and the link does work.
So you put the link in the help text,
That's awesome.
and then it shows up as a video.
Good job. Bravo.
He's the man.
Yeah, he's a man.
So that link goes to your drive, and that link goes to YouTube.
Go to my drive because I downloaded it.
That's awesome. Great job.
You must have because I did. Got Google.
All right. Take that, Google. So when you're all done, and again, by the way, the great thing about this, since you all named it, is it's automatically been saving your work. You can always go back and give it more to the, add more later. But do make sure, I would encourage you to check off allow responders to edit responses, just in case they spell something wrong and they need to go back to fix something. And finally, you can go to send form, where it says link to share. I would just copy and paste that and put that on a Modo, or if you've already got your email group set up, this is where you can type in the name of your email group, and they can go to them that way. Or you can put it in your Google Classroom. Then you hit the down triangle next to add item, and you would pick text or paragraph text or whatever it is that you want to do.
So I can just put paragraph text and it'll just give me a box.
Yes. Yeah. A paragraph text we use for like an essay type question or a couple sentences long. All right. Any other questions about the form? I want to look up more about that YouTube video. That was a great solution they had.
I think that would work what you said too, is if we download the video, upload it to our YouTube channel, then we have a YouTube link, and it'll show the video with the closed caption.
Yeah.
Is that
We're in no
where
issue. Doing copyright issue.